The story begins at a graveyard, a solemn, haunting sight. Deadpool is there, standing over Logan's grave, the very spot where Wolverine found his eternal rest in the movie Logan. But rest is a concept Deadpool doesn't quite believe in. With his signature blend of insanity and determination, he begins digging, hoping against hope that Logan might still be alive. However, as the dirt gives way, all that remains is a lifeless skeleton. Logan is truly gone. For a moment, Deadpool's usual sarcasm is replaced by an almost tender vulnerability. He sits beside Logan's remains, pouring his heart out to the lifeless bones, confessing how much he needs the legendary mutant. But Deadpool's quiet moment doesn't last long. The silence shatters as multiple portals open around him, and the Time Variance Authority agents emerge. They're here for him. But Deadpool, ever the chaotic force, isn't ready to go quietly. In a brutal and bizarre battle, Deadpool dismantles the agents using whatever he can find, including Logan's bones. One by one, the TVA forces fall, leaving the graveyard in utter chaos. But how did Deadpool end up here? For that, we must rewind. It all started on March 14th, 2018, when Deadpool got his hands on Cable's time travel artifact. Curiosity and chaos in his heart, he ventured to Earth 616, the primary Marvel Cinematic Universe. There, he met Happy Hogan, attempting to pitch himself as the next Avenger. Deadpool bragged about his skills, his immortality, and his unmatched wit. Happy, however, was unimpressed. He explained that being an Avenger wasn't just about having powers, it was about helping people in need. Feeling rejected but not entirely defeated, Deadpool returned to his own universe. Back home, life seemed good. Dopinder, his trusted cab driver, was now married with 2 kids. Deadpool even had a birthday party waiting for him. As he walked into his home, the laughter and warmth momentarily made him forget his chaotic tendencies. But just as he was about to cut his birthday cake, an unexpected knock at the door changed everything. TVA agents stormed in, pulling him through a portal and dragging him to their headquarters. At the TVA, Deadpool met Paradox, a senior officer who welcomed him with a mix of authority and sarcasm, reminiscent of Mobius from Loki. Paradox explained that Deadpool's reckless use of the time travel artifact had caused ripples across the timelines, landing him on the TVA's radar. But rather than punish him, Paradox offered him a mission, a chance to join the Avengers and help protect the sacred timelines. Deadpool, ever the opportunist, was thrilled. The screens around him displayed countless time events, one of which showed Thor weeping over an injured Deadpool. Curious but excited, Deadpool accepted the mission. He was even given a shiny new suit and 2 adamantium swords, gifts that he adored. However, before heading to Earth 616, Deadpool wanted to return to his universe to inform Vanessa and his friends. Paradox then revealed a grim truth. Deadpool's universe, Earth 5, was collapsing. Logan had been the anchor of that universe, and his death in 2017 had set off a chain reaction. Without an anchor, the universe had less than 72 hours before it would cease to exist. Deadpool, visibly shaken, demanded the TVA intervene to save his world. But Paradox dismissed his plea, revealing the Time Ripper, a device designed to instantly destroy collapsing universes. Paradox preferred this method, describing it as uprooting a dying tree. With his world crumbling and his choices limited, Deadpool faced a crossroads. Paradox gave him 2 options: return to Earth 5 and spend the remaining hours with his loved ones, or move on to Earth 616 and fulfill a greater purpose as part of the Avengers. Torn between loyalty to his past and hope for the future, Deadpool found himself in an impossible dilemma. But Deadpool never does things the easy way, does he? Furious at Paradox's grand plan, he takes the fight straight to him, landing a punch and stealing his portal machine. With his universe crumbling around him, Deadpool hatches a plan to find Logan. Because who else would he trust to fix this mess? His quest kicks off with a bang as he battles TVA agents, slicing through them one by one like butter. But even after the TVA agents are out of the picture, Deadpool's troubles are far from over. His multiverse-hopping journey to locate Wolverine doesn't exactly go smoothly. He finds a pint-sized Wolverine in one universe and an armless Wolverine in another. A one-eyed version even makes an appearance. But instead of allies, they turn into adversaries, beating Deadpool up and sending him packing. When Deadpool finally stumbles across a Wolverine in a bar, his relief is short-lived. This Wolverine refuses to help, downs an entire bottle of beer, and promptly passes out. Undeterred, Deadpool drags the unconscious Logan through a TVA portal and straight into Paradox's headquarters. Deadpool thinks he's nailed it, presenting Wolverine as the solution to save his universe. But Paradox isn't impressed. Turns out, this Wolverine isn't the hero Deadpool imagined. In fact, he's a menace, responsible for the deaths of countless people in his own timeline. Paradox dismisses Deadpool's scheme and delivers a crushing verdict. Both Deadpool and Wolverine are sent to the Void, a desolate wasteland filled with danger. Wolverine wakes up furious at being dragged into this mess, and the two engage in a brutal fight. Wolverine's claws find their mark, but Deadpool tries to reason with him. He explains the collapsing state of his universe and the TVA's ability to fix things. Wolverine, after much hesitation, agrees to join forces. Just as a truce is reached, a mysterious man warns them about Cassandra Nova, a witch with an army and a reputation for leaving nothing but destruction in her wake. Before they can process the warning, Cassandra's army arrives, forcing Deadpool, Wolverine, and the man to fight back. To Deadpool's shock, the man reveals he's none other than a young Captain America. Long before his Avengers days, back when he was known as the Human Torch. Despite his fiery powers, Human Torch is quickly overpowered, leaving Deadpool and Wolverine to carry the fight. Wolverine delivers a deadly blow to one of Cassandra's men, but their victory is short-lived. The trio is captured using advanced magnetic devices and hauled off to Cassandra Nova herself. Cassandra's lair is as terrifying as the rumors. Situated inside the decaying body of a giant Ant-Man, the place is crawling with mutants, including a variant of Juggernaut. Cassandra, who reveals herself as Professor X's twin sister, shares her twisted origin story. She survived Charles's attempt to strangle her with the umbilical cord while still in the womb, fueling a lifetime of rage. Deadpool, never one to back down, provokes her with a stream of sarcastic insults. The consequences are immediate and brutal. Cassandra strips the skin from Human Torch in a horrifying display of her power. As if things couldn't get worse, a massive monster named Aloth, part of Cassandra's army, enters the scene. Cassandra declares her intention to make Deadpool and Wolverine her slaves. Enraged, Wolverine launches an attack, but Cassandra effortlessly subdues him with a single gesture. Deadpool tries to take the diplomatic route, pleading to be sent home, but Cassandra mocks him before digging her fingers into his face, unearthing all his memories. Wolverine seizes an opening, stabbing Cassandra from behind, while Deadpool joins in the assault. But Cassandra only laughs, completely unfazed. With Aloth approaching, the mutants scatter in terror. Deadpool and Wolverine, thinking quickly, activate a mysterious machine nearby. In a flash, they escape the chaos, leaving Cassandra and her monstrous army behind, but not before realizing they've just scratched the surface of the nightmare ahead. As they tried to make sense of their surroundings, a small dog ran towards them. This wasn't just any dog. It was Dogpool, the canine version of Deadpool. Before they could process this oddity, another version of Deadpool, introducing himself as Nicepool, appeared. This version was unexpectedly polite and vocal about his feminist ideals. Nicepool revealed that this place was a haven, or perhaps a trap, for countless Deadpool variants. When Wolverine mentioned their plan to leave for the Borderlands, Nicepool generously offered his car for the journey. On the road, tensions rose as Deadpool's relentless mocking of Wolverine's suit pushed the latter's patience to its limits. When Deadpool casually mentioned the TVA's uncertain ability to fix their universes, Wolverine's suspicion flared. Unable to contain his frustration, he stabbed Deadpool's legs, furious that Deadpool had risked so much on a gamble. Deadpool admitted that his goal was to save 9 people dear to him and that he needed Wolverine's help. This admission deepened the rift between them. Wolverine, consumed by anger, accused Deadpool of immaturity and incompetence, citing his failure to maintain relationships and suggesting that saving the universe was beyond his reach. Hurt but unwilling to back down, Deadpool retaliated, sparking a brutal fight inside the car. The battle lasted for hours, leaving both combatants exhausted and the vehicle drenched in blood. Eventually, they passed out, only to be rescued by X-23, who loaded them into the car and drove them to safety. When they regained consciousness, they found themselves in a house filled with familiar faces: Elektra, Blade, Gambit, X-23, and even Human Torch, heroes who had been exiled by the TVA. The group revealed that they had been tracking Cassandra Nova, a powerful psychic who had unleashed devastation in this world. Impressed by Deadpool and Wolverine's survival against Cassandra, the group proposed forming a team to confront her. With preparations complete, they set out to face the looming threat. The battle against Cassandra Nova was nothing short of chaos. Her enslaved mutants, including a version of Juggernaut, attacked fiercely. While Elektra, Gambit, Blade, and X-23 handled the mutants, Deadpool and Wolverine went directly for Cassandra. But her psychic powers were overwhelming. She flung Deadpool aside and subdued Wolverine, using her abilities to delve into his traumatic past. She saw the pain of his failures, the loss of his X-Men comrades, and the uncontrollable rage that had led him to hurt even those he sought to protect. Amidst the turmoil, X-23 managed to sever Juggernaut's legs and threw his helmet to Deadpool. Deadpool used the helmet to neutralize Cassandra's powers. Just as they were about to kill her, one of her enslaved mutants shot her, seeking revenge. Wolverine swiftly eliminated the shooter and made an unexpected move. He convinced Deadpool to remove the helmet. Wolverine appealed to Cassandra's humanity, mentioning her connection to Charles Xavier, who would undoubtedly try to save her if he knew she was alive. Touched by his words, Cassandra warned them of an impending threat, a monstrous entity named Alth, and urged them to return to their universe. She opened a portal using a relic from Doctor Strange, allowing them to leave. However, Cassandra's troubles didn't end there. She discovered that the man who tried to kill her had been manipulated by the paradox within the TVA, who promised him freedom in exchange for her death. Furious, Cassandra traveled to Deadpool's universe to confront the paradox. There, she learned of his Time Reaper machine, capable of erasing entire timelines. Seeing an opportunity, Cassandra decided to use the machine to destroy all universes, leaving herself as the ruler of an eternal void. Deadpool and Wolverine tried to stop her, but were easily overpowered. Just as things seemed hopeless, Dogpool and Niecepool reappeared, followed by an army of Deadpool variants led by Ladypool. Unfortunately, these versions were under Cassandra's control. Deadpool's attempts to reason with them failed, and chaos erupted. In the midst of the battle, Niecepool sacrificed himself, shielding Deadpool from harm. Wolverine, realizing the Deadpool variant's affection for Dogpool, used the little dog as a distraction to approach Deadpool. Together, they prepared to fight the Horde. Amid the chaos, Wolverine donned his iconic mask, prompting admiration from Deadpool despite the dire situation. The fight took an unexpected turn when another friendly Deadpool variant arrived, convincing the others to cease fighting. With the infighting resolved, the group turned their attention to stopping Cassandra's devious plans, ready to face whatever came next. Deadpool and Wolverine raced through the chaos, their minds focused on one thing: stopping Cassandra Nova. Their only lead? A mysterious figure known as the Paradox. He was their last hope. The Paradox greeted them with grim news. Cassandra can't be stopped directly. She's too powerful. But there was a way. The machine she was using, the source of her power, had a fatal flaw. It ran on two wires, one for matter, the other for antimatter. Connecting them would trigger a massive short circuit, destroying the machine and Cassandra in one catastrophic blast. But there was a catch. Whoever does it won't survive. The explosion will be violent. Wolverine and Deadpool exchanged a glance. Their resolve was set. They weren't backing down. Lives across universes hung in the balance. As they approached the room housing the machine, Wolverine turned to Deadpool, and said, "Let me do this. You've got family waiting for you, a life. Let me end this." Deadpool, usually all jokes, went silent. He nodded, then sucker punched Wolverine, locking him inside a nearby room. Deadpool muttered, steeling himself for the task ahead. Inside, Cassandra Nova stood at the machine's controls, speeding up the integration process. Deadpool made his move, grabbing one of the wires with all his strength. He could feel the energy crackling, fighting against him. The Paradox, monitoring the timeline, watched as integrity dropped to a critical 2%. His face fell. All hope seemed lost. But Wolverine wasn't the type to stay locked up for long. The door burst open with a loud crash. Wolverine rushed in, ignoring Deadpool's surprised look. Without hesitation, Wolverine grabbed the second wire. The circuit was complete. The machine roared in protest, sparks flying everywhere. The room shook violently. A bright flash engulfed everything. The explosion tore through the space, disintegrating Cassandra Nova in an instant. Deadpool and Wolverine vanished in the blinding light. As the dust settled, memories flooded Deadpool's mind. Moments of laughter, chaos, and the people he loved. For a second, it felt like the end. Meanwhile, Hunter B-15 and a squad of TVA agents stormed into the Paradox's hideout. She coldly declared that he was under arrest, stating that creating a machine capable of erasing entire universes without TVA approval was unacceptable and that his actions had reached their limit. The Paradox barely registered the cuffs on his wrists. His mind was elsewhere, on the two heroes who had just given everything to save the multiverse. Then, a miracle happened. Deadpool and Wolverine reappeared, standing right before him. The Paradox's eyes widened in disbelief. Deadpool grinned and explained that if either of them had attempted the task alone, they would have been destroyed. But since they had done it together, the explosion's impact was reduced, allowing their healing abilities to save them. Wolverine, with a smirk, remarked that it would take more than that to kill them. Hunter B-15, usually stoic, acknowledged their efforts with respect and stated that they had saved every universe, adding that the TVA owed them a debt. As they headed back to Deadpool's universe, Deadpool, in a rare moment of sincerity, suggested to Wolverine that he could stay with him. Like family, Wolverine, who had always walked a lonely path, paused and admitted that the idea of family sounded good, and he could use that. When they reached Deadpool's house, Wolverine was introduced to the chaotic, lovable group Deadpool called Family. Laughter filled the air as they welcomed Logan like one of their own. For once, both heroes had found peace. No battles, no universe-shattering threats, just family. And the story ended not with a fight, but with the quiet comfort of home.